We're joined now by new Kentucky quarterback Devin Leary. You last saw him at NC State. He's now wearing blue.
Yeah.
All right, Devin, you are a South Jersey guy, right?
Yes, sir.
Grew up an Eagles fan?
Yeah, I did.
All right, so this is I can't ask you this question. Would you boo Santa Claus?
No.
No?
Would I boo Santa Claus?
The Eagles fans did that. They have historically done this.
Man, I don't know. Eagles fans are ruthless, but I don't think I could boo Santa Claus.
Well, I think you're trained for this playing for an SEC team now, though, being around Eagles fans your whole life. Like they fit right in with SEC fans.
Oh my gosh, they're insane. They're insane.
Yeah.
I mean, they thrive in adversity, it feels like.
Well, the problem is they're all Georgia fans now because they took the whole roster. So
exactly.
You got to deal with that. How has it been? You know, you've been at Kentucky now for over 6 months. How has it been finally getting ready to actually take the field with your new teammates?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been awesome. We've been having, really good practices, really good approach every single day with, not even just the offense, the defense, special teams. And it's really cool, just to be a part of something new. But at the same time, it's really rewarding to see, how everyone comes with a professional and, a good mindset to just getting to work each and every single day. So, I'm honored to be here. I'm very blessed to be here. And, it's been awesome being able to work with all these guys and all these coaches.
I've heard you say that with your transfer portal experience, basically don't enter the transfer portal without a plan.
Yes.
What was your plan when you made the decision to leave NC State and play that last year somewhere else?
Yeah, I think, I was really in a unique situation. When I kind of was debating on hitting the portal or not, our offense coordinator at NC State actually got the head coaching job at Coastal Carolina. And I didn't really know what was to come, honestly. And kind of having a plan of, kind of talking to my dad and people that I trust, really getting what you want out of the transfer portal in a sense of being developed to an even better player of what I was before I entered the portal. I want to enter an offense is going to help me develop and get to the next level. Being able to spit out the right terminology and making sure that, I'm advancing not just physically, but also mentally. And I think it's very important if you're going to enter the portal, it's very different from being a high school recruit to now having that college experience, making sure that you have a plan behind you.
So you get to Kentucky and Liam Cohen is actually coming back to Kentucky from the LA Rams. You find out as you're going there. And Liam was at Kentucky 2 years ago and helped, get Will Levis up to speed at Kentucky as a transfer. How much is the fact that he's already done this with somebody who was transferring for another school help, deal with that transition?
Yeah, I think, it helps a lot. I think, he's obviously had the experience of bringing on a new quarterback and, making sure he fits the right role. I think it's really cool that, he has that experience with Will, and obviously he's turned Will into, an NFL quarterback, being able to develop him. And, that's really cool. Me being in my position, being able to see someone like Will thrive around Coach Cohen. And at the same time, you get around a guy like Coach Cohen and you understand that, he knows how to adapt the players. He knows how to build his offense around our playmakers on the field. And, for me coming in as a quarterback, obviously I want to develop and learn his offense, but, also just take some takeaways on, what he gave to Will when he first transferred in, or how we kind of taught Will different concepts or different ways to read different plays. And, for me, I think we all have our own journey at the end of the day, but it was really cool to kind of have that back end help from Coach Cohen with his previous experience for sure.
So I heard him talking about working with Matthew Stafford at the LA Rams. And one of the things he said that was amazing about Stafford is he could come off the field and onto the sideline and tell you exactly what all 11 players on the defense did on a play. And Liam was saying that you're fairly similar to that, where you can see a lot of what's going on. How does that work? Do you kind of catch just a little glimpse of somebody out of your eye and you're like, okay, that, and you remember all of that when you come off?
Well, obviously I think it helps with the experience. I played a good amount of college football now, been in a couple of different systems, have seen a ton of defenses, But I think, just making sure that you stay consistent with your process, every single play, I have a pre-snap thought and a post-snap confirmation based off the coverage, based off of what I see and based off our play. And, for me, it's just film study, making sure that, at the end of the day, it's just pattern recognition, making sure that I've seen those patterns before, making sure that, I'm writing down the right coverages and making sure that I'm training my mind that when I get out onto the field and I see certain rotations or pressure, that it all just becomes muscle memory. And, really that just comes with reps and experience. And, I'm still challenging myself every day, but being able to come back off the field and give as much feedback to Coach Cohen is just going to help our offense even more.
How much do a lot of your teammates know of this offense? And how many of them were playing in it 2 years ago and know all the terminology and can help you and say Ray Davis, who transferred in from Vanderbilt, to get up to speed?
Yeah, a good amount. There's actually a lot of carryover, which was pretty cool to see, even from the offense they were in last year to what it was when Coach Cohen first got here. A lot of the terminology, kind of marinates together, but at the same time, being able to have guys like Kenneth Horsey, Eli Cox, Jatan McClain, being able to be around those guys that have heard this system, that have operated in this system, really just makes it a lot easier for those position groups. And then, for me, just coming in as a new guy, it's really cool to lean on, other quarterbacks in the room like Kaya Sheridan, Deuce Hogan, that have been in this system before. So, we all really just lean on each other, continue to grow every single day, but also just, anytime anyone has a question, it's really cool to have our offense coordinator right at hand to kind of explain, how certain concepts work or, how he sees it being successful.
When you were looking at various schools to transfer to, how much did you look at rosters, depth charts? Like, for example, how aware of Dane Key and Barian Brown were you when you decided to transfer to Kentucky? I mean, those guys were pretty incredible as freshmen, and I would imagine ready to take a fairly big leap now.
Yeah. I mean, very aware, honestly. That's kind of what I was saying going into the portal, having a plan, making sure that you do your homework. And obviously seeing guys like Dane Key, Barian Brown on the film, Tavion Robinson as well. I mean, they just stand out at you. I mean, as a quarterback, that's really what you want to do. You want to be the point guard. You want to distribute the ball to playmakers on the perimeter. And, what they've done last year, especially Dane and Barian, at such a young age. I mean, it's very promising to a quarterback. And, for me, just entering the portal, making sure I do all the right homework, making sure that, I understand the roster and where I could fit in and who's going to be around me. I mean, Kentucky was a no-brainer with having these guys here.
We'll be right back with more of our interview with Kentucky quarterback Devin Leary. But first, a word from Game Time. Let's say you want to watch the Kentucky Wildcats play this year at Kroger Field in Lexington. You don't have tickets. You want to get tickets right now. Well, it's very simple. You go to the Game Time app, you enter Lexington, Kentucky, you hit Kentucky football, and you see, oh my gosh, I can go to the season opener against Ball State for as low as $19. And then you say, okay, well, what else can I see? Who else are they playing? Scroll down. SEC home opener against Florida. You can get in for as little as $89. You click that ticket. It shows you exactly where you'd be sitting at Kroger Field. You move your phone. It's like you're moving your head in the stadium. It's very cool. And then at that point, you're basically one click away from having those tickets, I'd say in your hands, but they'll be on your phone. And if you need to transfer them to somebody on game day, very easy to do with Game Time. So download the Game Time app, find your game, couple clicks, you're done. Oh, by the way, use the code STAPLES and get $20 off your first purchase. That's code STAPLES, $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed, and use that code STAPLES for $20 off your first order. So you're in a non-contact jersey at practice, so I imagine that probably not a lot of fear here, but when you see Deion Walker on the other side of the line of scrimmage, what goes through your mind as a guy who, somebody gets hit by that guy?
Yeah, it's a big dude. A big dude that covers a lot of space. And, I think the coolest thing, especially competing against him every day, people don't realize how athletic he is. I mean, the dude never stops working his hands. He never stops, moving towards the ball. And, I think there's kind of a stigma around bigger guys like him that, once you kind of, you get him into the trenches, he can't really move that much. But that's the exact opposite of Dion. Honestly, he can disrupt many plays by himself, and just standing across from him at the ball is a little bit intimidating for sure.
Yeah, when they were putting him on the edge last year at the end of the season, I was like,
yeah,
what in the world is this?
Yeah,
but you're right. He can move. And I imagine that's sort of a shocking thing when you're an opposing quarterback, and maybe you've seen it on film, but to see it in real life, 5 yards away from you is probably a little bit different.
Yeah. I mean, that's just who he is, though. I mean, you get around the dude, everything that he does, whether it's ping pong in the locker room or, working a one-on-one at practice, he's going to give it his all. He's going to, compete with everything he does. And, he knows what he wants to get out of this game. And I think, every single day he comes in with the right mindset of wanting to get better. And it's really fun to compete against.
All right. Before I let you go, we got to do this. We got to rank the Kentucky Wildcats in locker room ping pong. Who is the guy you do not want to go against?
See, a lot of the specialists are really, really good.
Of course.
So,
they have some time.
That's kind of just about every team. So, I mean, I got to give it to them, but I've been going back and forth with Tavion Robinson. So we kind of been having a battle. So I don't know. It's up in the air for sure.
Well, and that's so now does he put any stake like, listen, you got to target me at least 10 times in the first game if I beat you here?
No. He knows. I think all the receivers know every single route, every single play, everyone should expect the ball. So we can't do that.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, how exciting is it for you when you can look out at that group and say, I am excited to throw you the ball and you the ball and you the ball and you the ball.
Yeah, I think like I said, it's such, really awesome from a quarterback's perspective to be able to have so many different threats and so many different weapons. But, what's really cool about this group is they celebrate each other. Certain routes, certain concepts aren't always designed for everyone. Although anyone can get the ball, there's certain routes that, you got to get the other guy open.
Yeah.
It's really cool to be a part of this group because there's such a close-knit group that when someone does a certain route or a certain block or technique for another receiver, they cheer on each other. And that's really, really cool to be a part of. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's my ball. It's my job to just get the ball out to those guys and make plays.
It sounds like it's a pretty fun job. Devin Leary, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.